All right, this is for if you were going into Algebra 1 Gifted. This is to basically give you a refresher on some things that hopefully you already know going into Algebra 1. This is not to reteach this to you, but instead give you an idea, kind of push you in the right direction, let you see how I would work out one of these problems, and let you see what an answer actually looks like for each of these. So, if we take a look at this first one, it says simplify each expression. Well, here I would combine like terms. That's essentially what we're asking. When we combine like terms, this simplifies to give us negative 3n minus 5. So all we're looking for is combining like terms. Solving each equation, these are one-step equations. And number 2, I would add 7.82 to both sides. Because I'm adding a negative and a positive, I'm going to find the difference. And I take the sign of the larger number. Number 3, I divide by what's in front of my x. And I get 7.955. Of course, you should be able to do this without a calculator. I'm using a calculator to save time and to just show you how to set this up and let you check your answer. Number 4, multiplying by a negative 1/4 in front of my x, so I will divide by a negative 1/4. When I divide by fractions, I keep, change, flip. Negative times a negative is a positive 64 over 9. And so x equals 64 over 9. On number 5, if I ever see mixed numbers, I would change them to be improper fractions. Subtract 17/7 from both sides. I would get a common denominator and subtract. To save time, I will just do it in a calculator. And A should be 25/16. Again, we should be able to change this to be a common denominator and subtract those fractions with no problem. Solving proportions, I would use cross products. When we use cross products, we have 4 times 7, which gives us 28. 6 times x gives us 6x. When we divide both sides by 6, 28 divided by 6 should give us 4 2/3. On number 7, simplifying each expression, we are distributing in a negative 5. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 times a negative 6p gives us plus 30p. When we are evaluating expressions, we're essentially using order of operations. Order of operations says we do parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. Here, all we have is subtraction. Subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive. I would change this to be an improper fraction. So we have 2/7 plus 3 over 2. Get a common denominator. We have 4/14 plus 21/14. And this gives us 25/14. You can leave it as an improper fraction. Here we need to do what's in the parentheses first. So I add and subtract from left to right. I've got negative 8 minus a negative 5. Subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive, so I really have negative 1 minus a negative 3. Again, subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive, so this comes out to be 2. Number 10, work inside your parentheses first. So we have 20 minus 4, which gives us 16. On number 11, the top or bottom of a fraction is essentially a grouping symbol. It's like parentheses. So I have 2 over negative 1 plus 4. 2 divided by negative 1 gives me a negative 2 plus 4, and this is also a positive 2. Number 12, again, still evaluating. We're still just doing order of operations. I know that these are not going to affect each other, so I essentially did my grouping symbols here. Got negative 6, went ahead and multiplied these together, got a positive 24. 18 divided by negative 6 is a negative 3, so I have 24 minus a negative, same thing as adding a positive, so this comes out to be 27. On number 13, yes, we've got a bunch of decimals, but hey, we know how to do decimal operations. Work inside my grouping symbols first. This is 2.1 divided by 0.1 times whatever we get when we multiply these two negative numbers. We know it's going to be positive when we multiply 3.5 times 4.8. We get 16.8. So I have 2.1 divided by 1.68. When I divide 2.1 by 1.68, I get 1.25. Moving on to number 14, same idea, work in my grouping symbols first. So I've got 5.3 plus 4.2 times negative divided by a negative. We know it's going to be a positive. This gives us 3.56 with that 6 repeating. When I multiply this times 0.42, I have 5.3 plus 1 point, sorry, that was 4.2. Let me redo that there. We've got 14.98. When we add these together, we've got 20.28. Again, we should know our decimal operations, so that shouldn't be the part that is getting us confused. Finally, on number 15, I'll erase this to get it out of the way. I would change all my mixed numbers to be improper fractions. So we have a negative 17 over 6 plus 1/5 divided by negative 4 times negative 12/5. I'm going to work this way so I stay in the video. Negative 17 over 6 plus 1/5. I'm going to get common denominator. We've got 30 as our common denominator, so I'll multiply 17 times 5. We've got 85 over 30 plus 6 over 30. I can go ahead and multiply these. Negative 4 times a negative 12 over 5 gives us a positive 48 over 5. Combine up here, negative 85 over 30 plus 6 over 30 gives us a negative 79 over 30, all divided by that 48 over 5. So if we keep change flip, we've got 79 over 30 times 5 over 48 should give us a negative 79 over 288. All right, if we're given variables and we need to evaluate, we need to substitute. So we are putting the value of negative 6 in for P and the value of negative 2 in for Q. So I have negative 2 minus a negative 6 over 4. Again, subtracting a negative. We've got 4 over 4, and this comes out to be 1. When we're looking at equations of lines, this is in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Our intercept is negative 5, and our slope is 8/5. So we go up 8 and over 5. We connect these points with the straightest line you can, and we've now graphed that line. On number 18, we are looking for the y-intercept, which is 5. We're looking for the slope. I go down 1, 2, 3 over 1. So my slope is a negative 3 because I went down 3 over 1. My y-intercept was a positive 5. So I plug this into slope-intercept form. Rest of the packet is doing two-step equations. We always want to simplify first. We have negative 2x plus 10 equals a negative 20. We want to isolate the term with the x. And we divide both sides by negative 2. X comes out to be a positive 15. On number 20, I would add 7 to both sides. Negative 2 equals x over 2. Because x is being divided by 2, I will multiply both sides by 2. And so x comes out to equal a negative 4. Sorry for any slight errors I might have said, things I'm going too fast. But this in general is what we need to know going into Algebra 1.